Hello, everybody. This is Analytical Survival, and welcome to part 3 in a 3-part series interview with noted YouTube guest CampfireTalk. Today, we'll be talking more about fitness and especially how to mitigate various problems that can arise while training. CampfireTalk is an avid runner and has competed in many types of endurance events over the years. And in addition to being a wonderful father to 2 lovely girls and 1 boy, he still finds the time to work out on a regular basis. Today he's going to share some of his wisdom with the audience and some practical ways that we can all take better care of our health. Mr. CampfireTalk, welcome once again to the Analytical Survival channel.
Thank you. That intro, you make me feel like I actually know what I'm talking about.
Well, you do, brother. It's great to have you on for this last segment, and it's a great pleasure as always, brother. Today I was wondering if we can delve a little further into training and particularly how to overcome complications that can occur while working out. Is that okay?
Great. Let's do this.
Okay, let's jump right on in. I came up with a scenario, and I'll let you tackle it head on. Let's suppose for a moment that someone in the audience wants to get it together. They go out and they do their homework, they get the right gear, the right nutritional supplements, and they start their workout program. Sometime into it, their motivation starts to wane. They even begin to question their progress, and they say, you know, this is not happening fast enough for me, etc. After a while, we all find that sometimes the intensity wanes, and soon they find themselves skipping workouts and so forth. I'm sure this is very common, so I'd like you to address this. Exactly what are some strategies that members of the audience can use to mitigate this urge to quit? And if they do discontinue training, how do they jump back into it, into their workout regimen, and stay on?
Great question, very real question. I would answer by, I can only draw from my own experiences and just try to give you as real of an answer as I can. I would say that I'm very goal-driven, and what I'll do is I will sign up for some races, and I'll basically have that on my calendar to shoot for, and that way I will have something to train for. That way I'm just not basically out there running aimlessly. I'll have a big race coming up, whether it's a solo or a relay or a group type thing. As far as finding events, there's a great website called active.com. You can go there and find out some events that are happening in your area. Just an example of one is the Tough Mudder. There's something like that you could do with a group of friends and really kind of shoot for that. And for the ones that have maybe slid out of the pattern of exercise, I would just say, you know, don't beat yourself up. You know, be honest with yourself and just try to remember why you got into it in the first place.
And also to remember that it doesn't happen overnight, you know. Take some time. Right.
You know, you see this instant results, whether it's on TV or in a magazine, these before and after shots, or you know, a show like The Biggest Loser, where there's, you know, those are extreme cases, things like that. You got to look in the mirror and chip away at it slowly, and you'll get there. Whatever your goal is, you'll get there.
Awesome. Excellent advice. Okay, question number 2. This next question relates to something that we all have to deal with sooner or later. And here it is. Say someone in our audience had made it past the initial stages of starting out and they got some good momentum going. In fact, they're well into a workout program and they're making excellent progress. They're doing all the right things, stretching, warming up, starting slow, etc. But even with all these precautions, one day they're going along and then bam, they pull a muscle or seriously strain a ligament. My question to you is, what are some of the ways that you have found helpful for an effective and swift recovery from any kind of injury?
Well, sadly, this is something I know a little bit about. It seems like every year I'll run into a little or a big issue. You are going to need, if you get injured, you're going to have to put a halt on your training. And if you've got your mind in an area where you're just geared up and focused on your training and you're hitting that goal, reaching your goals, it is very difficult. This may sound crazy, but it is difficult to switch off because you are amped up and you are ready to go. You're on this weekly schedule of the working out. You've got it coming up, whether it's in the morning or at night. It is hard to switch that off. But you're going to have to do that if you get injured, and it just depends on the severity of your injury. I would say that with some pulled muscles, this is a tough thing because I cannot assess where someone is or what their injury is. But if I pull, say, a hamstring, I may have to take a good, easily 1 week up to 2 weeks. And you can maybe kind of supplement it in with some biking. Also, initially, the sooner you can ice that injury, if it's a pulled muscle, if you want to reduce swelling, ankles, knees, get ice on them and try to keep ice on them for 20 minutes a day, 3 times a day. Advil to help reduce the swelling as well. Those sorts of things are going to be crucial on that first 2 to 3 days, the ice and the Advil, because you don't want it to swell. If you're really concerned, after about a week, you're pain, I would definitely see your doctor. You'll have to get that checked out. There's possible x-rays or MRIs that you'll have to go through. Been there, done that.
How about swimming? I hear that's highly recommended sometimes when somebody gets a running or bicycling accident.
Oh yeah, I mean that's really the ultimate. If you have access to go swim, all day long, do it. Do it as much as you can, as often as you can. It's really the best thing. I am not a strong swimmer, but it is a great exercise, and I couldn't recommend it more.
Awesome. Let's switch gears here a little bit and talk about food. Where are some favorite places that you go to buy good, nutritionally dense food? And what I mean is this. The cleaner and the fresher the food, the better the fuel. And the better the fuel, the better the workout results. So where are some places that our audience members can go to get nutritionally dense food, to enhance their workout program, but also do this without breaking the bank? What would you recommend?
Right. Well, I wish I could go get Mrs. CampfireTalk for this question. This is more her department for sure. She's the chef. And I know that in the summer times in our area, in a lot of people's towns, the farmers markets will kind of pop up around the town squares or wherever it is in their area they will go to. There are also some farmers co-op programs that you can probably look up in your community online to find out where to go in stores. We mostly go to one of the better grocery stores in our area and always try to get the freshest produce. There's also Wild Oats, and their prices are going to be higher. You're going to get more of kind of a premium product there. So it doesn't really help on, as far as your budget, your food budget goes. But you are getting a premium product if there's access to a store like that, finding good sources. I would say first, look at what you're eating, look at your menu, and try to find ways to improve that first. Try to improve what you're actually eating, and then try to improve the ingredients. And when you change up your menu or change up what you're eating, those two things will kind of go hand in hand, and it's a little bit easier to think about a meal versus the ingredients, and improving the ingredients will come.
It's awesome. Question number 4. Here's an interesting question, and I think it's coming from a totally different angle. Sometimes we ourselves can, exhibit very uncanny and ingenious ways of sabotaging our own efforts. I'm not saying that you do this yourself, but there may be some audience members that really, really deal with this issue. And it may be a struggle for them, one that a lot of people might not really even be fully aware of or ready to admit. So with that said, what are some creative ways to avoid disrupting our own hard-won efforts?
I would say a training partner, because with someone like that, you're going to get a level of accountability, and also you will be able to help that individual as well with their training needs. the whole deal, and this is kind of a story going back to my journey of running. And I never really meant to get into running at all. It was initially I had this goal of just running a half marathon. I just thought I wanted to do that, and I did it. It was great. And then shortly after I finished that, I really wasn't running anymore. And then some good friends of mine asked me to sign up for that first Ragnar relay. And they kind of almost peer pressured me into doing it. And so once I told them yes, then I was committed, and I knew that I needed to be ready. And that was huge for me. That kind of helped pulled me along and motivated me, because I had these guys, and there was a lot of support there, and it was just a very positive environment. And next thing I know, I'm getting better at it, and I'm running better than I've ever ran, and I owe a lot of that to those guys.
Excellent advice. Okay, this next question sort of relates to the last one, and it has to do with reward systems. I think one thing that a lot of people do when they're out there sweating and working hard and faithfully sticking to a workout is that we're all thinking about those in-between times when we can indulge a little and reward ourselves for all this hard work. But this is also when a lot of us, perhaps members of our own audience, can resonate with this. It's when a lot of folks overdo it. Bottom line, we live in a culture where large portions are legitimized. It's become normal almost.
Right,
so
right.
What are some helpful tips for helping folks keep their reward systems reasonable and within limits, and not something that's going to undermine all their hard work?
Right. Well, I would say if this is a reward system more geared towards someone that has the goal of losing weight, a reward would be obviously something that tastes great because they've been working their butt off. And I would say reward yourself, and don't go crazy, and really savor it. Just the simple thing of eating slow and just savoring it is going to be good. You don't have to, and eat smaller portions, of course. Try to drink as much water as you can. That's not a reward, but that's just going to help with everything in the whole weight loss universe. But rewards are great. You need to reward yourself. You need to feel human again because you're working so hard at this goal. And this is, again, that's just a weight loss goal. If your goal is not weight loss, but it's to bulk up, to get stronger, maybe your goal is just to look better. Still reward yourself. Maybe something you could do would be a reward of an extra rest day of working out. If you exercise 4 days a week, maybe 1 week just only work out 3 days a week, and that would be your reward that week.
All right, folks, that's all the time we have. As always, excellent advice, brother. I want to thank Campfire Talk for doing this entire series with us here at the Analytical Survival channel. And folks, if you haven't already done so, you can check out Campfire Talk on YouTube, as well as all of his great and informative videos there. And I'll be putting up the link in the description box. And please don't forget to subscribe. Once again, this is Analytical Survival saying, stay safe and healthy, my brothers and sisters.